Oh, hey, what's going on, guys? Limitless MV here. What's up? Today we're going to go ahead and talk about Frank Vogel and maybe some things you possibly didn't know about him. So keep watching, tune in, because you may be surprised. What's going on, guys? Limitless MV here to bring you a new video and a new format that we're doing where we're running a story on Frank Vogel, covering some things that you may or may not have known about him. So Frank Vogel, now current NBA head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers. He wasn't always the Lakers coach, though. He was Indiana Pacers coach back even in 2011 when they had a good little run against the Miami Heat, and where they got bumped down in the Eastern semifinals, but they put up a good run. But a little bit after that time, in 2018, April 2018 to be more exact, the Orlando Magic let go of Frank Vogel and pretty much the whole staff that hired him. Over the next year, he basically didn't try and get back into NBA. He took somewhat of like a sabbatical, and it took him to courts, film rooms, and different arenas around the country. And these were primarily from in Boston and Salt Lake City. Something to be known about Frank Vogel is that he worked his way when he was young to Rick Pitino's coaching staff for Kentucky, and for the University of Kentucky, I should say. But it's crazy because it's such a rare thing to see a coach who has such a vast amount of experience, but is also still so young. I mean, Frank Vogel is only 46 years young. He possesses renowned experience for coaching an Indiana Pacers team, coaching players such as Paul George, Danny Granger, Roy Hibbert, Lance Stevenson, George Hill, Darren Collison, David West, Dante Jones, all great players who have all had shining moments in their professional tenures at the most elite level, the NBA. But it should be noted that the 2011 season started with a crazy trade that the team may want back years later. And in retrospect, Kawhi Leonard was selected with the 15th overall pick in the 2011 NBA draft by the Indiana Pacers, but was traded that night to the San Antonio Spurs along with the rights to Erizem Lorbic and Davis Bertans in exchange for George Hill. Although many would possibly argue that Kawhi Leonard is light years ahead in terms of potential in George Hill, the team needed a solid starting point guard that could run the offense with precision and shoot the three-ball lights out. This would help allow Paul George and Danny Granger to just have as much room to operate. As everyone may possibly know, them these two guys can go ahead and ISO, hit them with a step back, muscle out defenders, and just take them off the dribble and create shots and opportunities for other teammates. But as great as the coach as Frank Vogel is, he found himself unfortunately out of an NBA job for the first time in 17 years after the Orlando Magic fired him. So, I mean, he decided most people would probably try and get back into the realm of the NBA, possibly even sitting in different coaching meetings and then hopefully getting hired to be put onto a bench staff to work as an assistant coach or go over concepts, whatnot. But he went another route, and that's what makes him so unique, that Frank Vogel decided to stay out of the NBA, and he took a whole year to analyze the game of basketball and also refine his own knowledge and methodologies regarding the game that he loves. Here's a quote by him where it says, "When I do get in that environment around other coaches, I do have an extra bounce in my step," Vogel said. "There's no wins and losses at stake. I got to just enjoy the game." I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I read this quote, it already kind of displays this is just a microcosm, like a view of how much humility this guy has. And man, if you want anyone leading an organization on the floor, in the trenches, so to speak, with the players, you want this guy at the ground floor just going ahead and leading them to victory, making sure that their confidence is high, maybe off missed shots, maybe steals and turnovers, letting them know what they did wrong and being constructive, as opposed to, just flying off the handle. Or this guy is very well composed, and certainly someone that the Lakers did a great job in hiring. So kudos to their staff in trying to go out and get a great 3-year deal for a great coach. And let's see. Well, over the course of that year, notable people that Coach Vogel actually visited were Coach Quinn Snyder of Utah Jazz and Brad Stevens of the Boston Celtics. He pretty much learned a few new things and different ways to approach the game of basketball. But as much as he definitely learned from them, Vogel taught just as much as he was learning. So it was definitely like a symbiotic relationship where it was beautiful, people coming together, collaborating, and learning off of one another. And all this is just beneficial for the game of basketball and the fans who get to witness it. I mean, I know I'm glad when I get to go see a concept or something being shared, and then it makes the whole game and the whole industry so much better and much more fun to watch. Let's be honest. But something that he definitely learned in particular, if we're looking specifically at one of his old colleagues, Brad Stevens. Brad Stevens actually employs, in between practices, he'll space out some time for dodgeball games, impromptu ones, and just getting the guys together. The season's long and tedious, let's be honest, for an NBA player. They're on the road a lot. You got practice, the media, the press. And with the great roster led by two veteran stars and offensive juggernauts, LeBron James and Anthony Davis, great role-playing contributors such as Kyle Kuzma, Danny Green, Dwight Howard, Rajon Rondo, KCP, Avery Bradley, Alex Caruso, Troy Daniels, JaVale McGee, and Jared Dudley. Each of these players will certainly make their mark on the game, but the charge for contention for this league will be led by none other than Frank Vogel. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any other things that I might have missed or want to contribute, just go ahead and hit me with that comment section and I'll totally get back to you. I appreciate you guys. Peace.